I run into so many people who think they want to launch a product until I start talking about the dollars, right? The capital required and the amount of time required. Then I always say, well, there's options, right? You don't have to be that. You don't have to do that. It's not for everybody. And you can license your product. And then they say, okay, well, I don't even know where to start. What does that mean? So how do I even get going in licensing? So let's start there, right? Let's start at the very base level. How do you get started in licensing your product?
Okay, just for those who don't know what licensing is, a little bit of backstory. I'm going to make it quick because I know we're limited. Is when you get a company to take on wear all of the hats on your behalf. So you have your own idea. Sometimes you have intellectual property filed. Sometimes you don't. It could be novel. Could be, just kind of get out there fast and collect the check type of thing. If you have the right team behind you to be able to do that. And then they pay you a royalty rate per unit sold. So they do all the selling, the manufacturing, distribution, selling, all of that, because they already have that established. And that's what the beauty is behind licensing. Now, the first step in order to start moving forward with that, because it's not an overnight thing. It's not a get rich quick lottery ticket by any means. You still have to put legwork in it. And the first thing that you need to do is do your market research. You need to know what's already selling out there. Find products try to find your product in the marketplace. So then that way you can establish and identify what your point of difference is before you go any further, and especially spending any money whatsoever.
So Amy, I could do that, right? I can just log on my computer and start looking at Amazon and all these places where I think a product like mine is being sold.
Exactly. Yep. Okay. And what a lot of people do that whether they consciously do it or subconsciously do it, they try to work around not finding their product because they don't want to see it selling. David, this all too well.
Oh yeah. Well,
and that's when somebody goes and builds a prototype or something, right? And spends a ton of cash and then goes, oh my God, there's a product just like mine in the market.
There's 5 products like mine.
Chris, it's funny you say that. I had a student that actually recently signed up, and he had built, it was a $10,000 prototype. Oh. And I'm like, all right, first step is like, do your research. He's like, don't worry about it. I've already done it. I'm like, no. You need to do your research. And so we just went through the process of doing Google search, and he's like, it's out there. It's already being made. And he could have saved himself $10,000 by just doing appropriate Google searching.